Okay, so this is our scenario. We'd like to transfer the following description into an entity relationship diagram. So a company has one or more locations referred to as plants, and the plant ID is some kind of an attribute for that plant, and several plants are uniquely assigned to the same company code. So there's a company code. Again, this seems to be like some kind of another entity. Plant is in one entity, the other one is company code, and then we have this attribute. And this is not only the attribute, any attribute, it's like the key attribute for that. Well, we could put other attributes, but the main thing is not have to put attributes into an entity. The main thing is how to put the relationships and the cardinality. So we're going to be focusing on that. So let's do that, inshallah. And then we are going to be doing this step by step. So let's finish this first one. What do we get from this one? How many entities do we have? Two entities, plants and company code. Okay, so let's do that. We have one entity, plants, and let's zoom in a little bit, and another one, company code. No, it's assigned the same company code. The company code that has an ID. So the code is not the code of a company, it's the company code itself. And this is the company is the whole thing, but they have different company codes. So this is like not some one company code that we're going to be having. We may have many company codes, each one with its different ID. This is what this representation tells us. So let's have an attribute. So that attribute is going to be for the plant is the plant ID. I'm just going to copy and paste, and also underline it. Maybe remove the space before, and then link this. Oh yes, I can do something by making it the default. If no, yeah. So and then I can do something like this. Okay. And then maybe what I can do is take both of these and copy and paste them. It will be easier. And then this is going to be the company code ID, CC ID. Okay, CC ID, and then same thing. I put it underlined because this should be. Okay, hold on. Cancel. Now, a company has one or more locations referred to as plants. Several plants are uniquely assigned to the same company code. Now, there's a relationship between plants and company code, and that's what we'd like to have. No. Yes. So this relationship, let's call it a sign. So, okay. I thought maybe now it's going to be okay. Done. What happened? I don't know. Okay. All right. And the relationship and the change assign. Now, do we have any information about the cardinality here? Several plants are uniquely assigned to the same company code. What do we get from this?
Each plant has one code. No?
Each plant, one. That's so.
Like one code is.
Several plants are uniquely assigned to the same company code. So now we're looking at what? When we say one of something, we are going to check now one of what? The company or company code, or one of the plants? So one from the company code can be assigned to several. So this is what this gives us. But one location, one plant, is assigned to how many? 1. Well, we say now with this sentence here, it gives us. Okay, let me try to see. Okay, now unfortunately we lost the ability to have both of them. Okay, so which one I'm going to be changing now? This sentence is doing what? One company code assigned has different plants assigned. So here this is where I'm going to put the 1, or is this one plant that is assigned to one company code? So where does the 1 goes according to this sentence? To the plants? To the code? So how do you know? It's the same code that we're talking about.
One company has many plants.
This is not a company.
One company code
One company code
one or many
can have many
plants.
plants. You know what? Let's take some time and see. When we would like to find the cardinality of this, we always start by saying 1 of something, right? Now when we say one company code is going to be assigned to how many plants?
One or many.
Anyways, and that's the answer we're going to be looking at when we're going to be putting some number here. And then from this side we're going to say one plant can be assigned to how many company codes?
And we put it there.
Now this information that one plant can be assigned to one company code, where do you get it from? From here? Now this one, this here tells us that one company code can be assigned to many plants. So this is going to give us this. One company code assigned to different plants. How many? 0, 1, or many? We don't know. But we're just going to leave it the 0 or many because we don't want to put any restrictions. But we might say that at least maybe 1 might be associated. But if we don't know anything, why would I'm going to put any restriction? Let's leave it open like that. But this one over here, the information is not available here. From this sentence I cannot say. So what should I do? I leave it like this. Because I don't have any information, not putting any restriction is the way to go. So I'm not going to put any restriction and say one plant can be assigned 0 many codes until we find something that maybe is explaining what this code is. Do you know what this company code means? That's all we have right now. The company has 1 or more locations referred as plants. Okay, we can understand that. So there are many plants, and each plant has an ID, location, etc. It may have other attributes, but that we don't care about. Now this part here just tells us that many plants can be assigned to the same company code, but it doesn't tell us the company code, how many company codes can be assigned to a plant. So we have no idea. We can't say that because of this now we are going to be said one plant has only 1 company code. It doesn't. We don't have this information here. If there is, it may be down there. We'll find out. But for now we have no information, so we leave it without any restriction until we find a restriction. Now let's go to the next one. Plants have several storage locations. So this seems like a storage location is some kind of an entity because they give us some kind of an attribute, a key attribute for it, in which the manufactured and purchased items are stocked, and a storage location, however, can only be assigned to one plant. So now we have a restriction that we need to put, but there are so many things here that we need to understand. Plants have several storage locations, so we need to have another entity, storage locations. And you know what? I'm going to copy something. Let me select all these, just copy the whole thing. And can I rotate them? No way to rotate. Okay, so going to move this around. No, move this down here and move this here. Okay, and now this is going to be a storage location. Storage location. And just to be consistent, I'm going to make them all singular instead of plural. And the storage location number is something that I'm going to put here. Okay, now the relationship is between the plant and the storage location. So this relationship okay, and this is going to have like what can have, let's say have. I always try to put verbs in the relationships because actually this is what the relationships are doing. They're involving some kind of action that is happening, and the verbs are the ones that are used to convey actions. So now I have this, and what kind of information do I have? Plants can have several locations. What does this give us? One plant can have one or many. Can it have zero? Now this is a location of a plant, so it cannot be zero. Doesn't exist anywhere, so it has to be somewhere. So we need to put some kind of we don't need this, so this is going to give us one or many. But do we have any information about the opposite? So a location can have zero or many plants. What the many, I don't think we have a problem having many plants into one same location. But is it possible that we have a location and there's no plant in it?
No.
Why do we remember this location then for?
One.
So probably a 1 makes more sense than a 0. So when we understand what this is all about, we can understand that there's some kind of restrictions that exist and we need to put them. But like here, it's not even clear what kind of restriction. What is this company code? It's not even clear to us. Maybe this is a company that have many companies and they have different codes. Well, it's not clear to us, so we leave no restriction. We put no restrictions. That's the until we find something clearly as a restriction. Okay, so within this part, it says in which the manufactured and purchased items are stocked. A storage location, however, can only be assigned to one plant. Now this, what do we get from this? A storage location, however, can only be assigned to one plant. One storage location, we said it can have one or many plants. So the many now doesn't stand because it says only to one. So it's only one. So one storage location can have only one plant. So that's what we get from this one. Everybody agrees, right? So let's move on. A purchase organization. So this is this purchase organization and this ID can be assigned to several plants, and a plant to several purchase organizations. So now there's a new. Okay. And it's going to be assigned to plants. So I need to move things up a little bit. Let's move this. Oh, okay, nice. Let's move them like this. And this one be moved like this. And let me select and move them up. And this is going to be nice. How can I flip this thing? because this has to go here and this has to go here, or maybe here. Okay, so that's better. Now maybe I might move this to be here, so it will be easier. So just select and no, cancel. You select and then you move things up, so it will be much better. Anyways, we will see if we need to do any more changes. Now I need to have another entity that was called purchase organization. So this purchase organization, just to it has the PO ID and it's underline it, and it has a relationship with the plant. And let's add these, and then I'm going to change them later because it's easier when I add them, then I add the relationship. So, well, I thought it might be easier, but it's not. Okay, so now let's see what we can put. Now we have a purchase organization can be assigned to several plants, so it can be assigned. So let's say assign, but okay, we have to assign here. We may give them some kind of, let's give them numbers. So we just I don't know, just to differentiate between this different assign one and assign two. Why the numbers? We'll see. We'll show later. But let's just make sure that we have the same, like different numbers, so we distinguish between which one. Assigned company. Well, you can put assigned company, okay, and assigned organization, but it's going to make it long. Assign 1 and 2 is easier. So now we said a purchase organization can be assigned to several plants. So it means that one purchase organization can be assigned to several, which means we don't know how many. Can you just say 1? Well, nothing is clear to us, so leave it as 0. There's no restrictions. Everything is possible. And then it says and the plant to several purchase organizations, which is again the same thing. One plant can be assigned to several purchase organizations. Do we know something that tells us it has to be at least 1? No, so we just leave it like this, 0 or many. A company code is related to one or more purchase organizations. Okay, so this purchase organizations is also associated to company code. So, you know, I'm going to copy this, not copy, but just move it around. Not easy to move around because I need to move around a lot of different things. Okay, move this around first. How about this one as well? And then move this here. It seems I don't have a lot of space. Okay, don't want to go into another page. And this from here, no. This one here and that one there. So that's the relationship between the plant and the purchase organization, and we have another one between the purchase organization and the company. And okay. Now, what kind of relationship is it? What kind of name are we going to put? A company code is related to one or more purchase organizations. So let's relate. It's related to, and so one company code is related to one or more purchase organizations. So that means here we need to put not 0, but we say 1 or more. That means at least it's 1. So we have the minimum to be 1 here. Do we have any other information? The latter is uniquely related to a company code, which means one purchase organization is uniquely related to a company code, which means this is going to be, I hear a very timid one. Yes, it's one. The latter, that means this is just referring to a purchase organization is uniquely related to a company code. That means one purchase organization is associated to one company code. So that's why we put this one here. But I don't know why it was not obvious to you, because many kept silent about this. Is this okay?
Yeah.
Why the one? I'm talking about this one here.
Uniquely assigned one of
This uniquely is the one that is
tells us.
confusing, or it's clear that this tells us that is only one? Uniquely related, that means it's only one. That's basically what it has. And then we have another thing. Now, a distribution channel, another entity, can be assigned to several divisions. Oh, another entity. So two different entities now. And whereas a division is uniquely assigned to a distribution channel, a sales organization, another entity, can have several distribution channels, whereas distribution channel is uniquely associated to a sales organization. And I just would like to know where to put them. I just need to see something. A company code can have several sales organizations, so probably I need to put them somewhere here. But the company code is far there, so anyways, it's going to be a mess. But let's put it on different tables, so we'll improve the way it looks later. So now let's put what we have. We said distribution channel can be assigned to several divisions. So we have two now entities. A distribution channel. I'm going to take this and put it here and call it distribution channel. Which has DC number. I'm going just to DC number. Where did it go? Okay. No, just press the Control S. And then we have the other entity is several divisions. So we have a division with div ID. Now what's the relationship between them? Is that can be assigned to several divisions. That means one distribution channel can have 0 or many divisions. So I'm going to add this 0 to many, and then let me add the relationship. Okay, not good. Not enough space. Now this. Okay, I just like to remove those. All right. Now, what about the other point, the other direction? One division is uniquely assigned to a distribution channel. That means that from the other side is only one and only one. One in the minimum, one in the maximum. Everybody agrees on this? A sales organization, another one, can have several distribution channels. So, distribution channel, we need to have another sales organization. We're going to copy this one. And sales organization. And their sales org ID. They are associated to distribution channels. Okay, let's put them like this. And then, yes.
The distribution channel and division should be that every distribution channel have a one division.
No, it's every division that has one distribution channel. One division has one distribution channel, but one distribution channel can be used by many divisions. Where do we get that from? Here, because one distribution channel can be assigned to several divisions. And notice also, again, this is assigned. Let's put it assigned. I forgot to name it. Assigned. Now this is 3. So one distribution channel can be assigned to many divisions. Where do we get that from? Because this is what one distribution channel can be assigned to many divisions, and one division is uniquely assigned to a distribution channel. So it's just one distribution channel. Now, what is the name of this distribution channel and sales organization? Can have, let's say, have, but there's another have there. No? Yes, there is. 2. Let's may have 1. Why I named them with 1 and 2 is because of what comes next, and which is the next step. After we have the model, we need to look at the multiplicity, this the cardinality, and see, do we have one to many relationship or many to many relationship, and then we need to know what is the result of that. If we have many to many, we have a new table, and the new table has the name of that relationship. So when I say, for example, in this case, like we have many to many, I have a new table called assign 1. That's why I want to have assign 1, not just only assign, because if I say assign, it's not clear which one is going to be the one generated in another table. For example, here again, many to many is going to make assign 2 another table, but assign 3 is not a table because it's just one to many, which is going to have one foreign key into the other. And you remember, 1 is going to be having the foreign key. So is the one is going, the foreign key is going to be the one in the place where the many is. So now let's keep going. Now we said that one distribution channel can be assigned to several divisions. We spoke about this. Now here, a sales organization can have several distribution channels. A sales organization can have several. So that means we keep it like that. Whereas a distribution channel is uniquely assigned to a sales organization. It means this has to only one. Okay, and then a company code can have several sales organizations. So now this sales organization needs to be associated to company code. Let's try to do that. Okay, like this, then no. I want to add, no. I tried something, but it didn't work.
If you join them, it will align it automatically.
Okay. Oh, thanks. Yes. I don't need to bother myself. And then we put the relationship. What is a relationship? A company code can have, another have, several organizations. Okay, this is have, how many? 3. And one company code can have several. That means 0 too many. Sales organizations are assigned to one company code only and to several plants. Okay, so the sales organization is assigned to one company code. That means here only one, and it has another relationship also with the plants. And it's good that we had some space. Okay, how do we name it? Also can have are assigned to one and to 0. So let's say assign again. Assign how many? 4 now. And now one company code can have several sales locations. Sales organizations organizations are assigned to one company code only and to several plants. So that means one sales organizations can be assigned to several plants that means the 0 too many. And then plants can only be assigned to several can be assigned to several sales organizations, so it's a many another one. And that's what we result in having, with a lot of different things and resulting almost at the max complexity. Yes. Yes, it does.
Yes.
Because the more many-to-many relationships, the more new tables we're going to add. Because now we have how many entities? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 entities. That means we're going to be having 7 tables. Plus we're going to be looking at the relationships and spotting the many-to-many. Now this is 1. That means we said 7 tables. Now that's going to be 8,
8 tables. Each
9, 10,
10.
that's it. So the cardinality is affecting the complexity of the database because it keeps adding new tables. So now the different tables that I'm going to have are all the entities plus those ones that have many-to-many, which are assigned for, because it's many-to-many, and then assign 2 and assign 1. While the others, they have many-to-one relationship. Many-to-one relationship will end up only on one foreign key being in one of the tables, based on where the many and the 1 is. And this is going to be resulting in this kind of diagram that I'm for sure, I'm pretty confident that you like it. Let me download this since we can. Download complete, okay. And well, let me rename it. It will be much better. It's week 3, exercise 4. That's better than that thing. And then do it again, so we can download it under that name. I don't have to rename it. Yes. And now this thing, I'm going to add it to here. So it was downloaded, so probably here. Yes. So this gives us this thing, which is okay. I was thinking it will be more fancy, but as you can see, the less details we have, the harder on us, on the modeling, because we don't know what kind of cardinality. Is it 0 or 1 or... And also notice that we were stuck with just the minimum. Normally when we get this kind of requirements, we have more than just like the key attribute of an entity. They will tell us a lot of attributes, and then I have to find which one is going to be decided to be the key. Or if I cannot find one suitable, I'm going to add a new one. Remember the discussion, if all of them, for example, are texts, I need to have one that is a number, because a number is taking less space into the on disk as opposed to text. And then if it's a key, it's an attribute, it's going to be a primary key, and the primary key is going to be the copied in a foreign key every time there's a relationship. So now if it's a text, it's going to be copied in several places. It's going to cost me a lot of space for nothing, and I can achieve the same result with a number as a primary key. So always we're going to be seeking for primary keys to be numbers. So, but this is an example of an exercise where you have a lot of entities and a lot of different type of relationships, but it ends up at the end we're focusing on, in the relationships, and looking at what kind of relationship do we have, one to many or many to many. There are others that can exist, which is one to one, is another relationship type of possible relationship. We haven't seen many of those. We're going to be talking about those inshallah next week. But I think now you got a good experience with this designing and these entity relationship diagrams. We assume that the data, the information, the requirements are available. and but this is not how to collect these requirements is out of the scope of this course. Actually, this is part of maybe software engineering, where you have to collect the information. There's a lot of different just this collecting of data and information is takes a lot of time and efforts as well. But this is something about that you can find in software engineering. If you check in the course, or if you will check the course, you'll see that shown. No questions regarding this? Fine. That concludes our first video of this.